Welcome back to another episode of the free VST Plugins Detective, where I review, test out, and demonstrate various free VSTs. For this video, I'm going to show you the 7 best free plugins for 2025. Kicking it off, number 1, we got the Auburn Sounds Growlin 3. This is a free auto-tune plugin, extremely good quality, the 3rd iteration of the Growlin series. So let's use it right now. I'm going to mute it first, or turn it off first. Let me enable recording. All right. I'm going to record something real quick. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So I'm not a good singer. I feel like this is like the typical thing I record when testing out plugins. And the good thing, because I'm not a good singer, is you get to see the power of this plugin. So I'm going to turn it on now. I'm just going to play it first with everything kind of on its normal settings. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. So you can see already, without adjusting anything, that it's already kind of doing some auto-tune-ish type stuff. Now, there's a lot of features to this plugin. I've already done an entire dedicated video about it because it's so good. But I can do a lot of different things. You can see with the inertia, I can turn this up and make it a bit more smooth. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Right? There's a lot of kind of funky things I can do. I can turn this twinkle, twinkle, little star. Right? You can turn on the inertia a bit more. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Right? A lot of funky things I can do, adjusting all these different pitch corrections in terms of the snapping, the inertia, the smoothness. A lot of stuff I can do. I can also adjust the pitch right here, which is kind of easy to do in Ableton. If I go right here and go down here. But let's say you don't have Ableton, or you just want to use this instead. Twinkle,
twinkle, little star.
Right? Or I can turn it down.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
And of course, I can adjust the performance.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Right? A lot of different ways I can modulate, not just my voice, but pretty much any element in my track. Remember, when it comes to these kind of plugins, especially auto-tune ones, we all think of vocals. This can do a lot of funky stuff on an instrument, a synth, any other element, maybe even a percussive element. Another cool feature within this plugin I'll show you is I can adjust also the notes it's singing, playing, or performing. So you can see right here, all these are in blue. But if I, like, say, want to make this in C minor or major or whatever, I think is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I think it's in minor, right? I could do this. You can see already right here, right, that these are all turning red. So I can also click here if I want. Now all I have is C. So now it's
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
right. Let me make this a bit smoother, turn up the inertia. So now it sounds like this.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
A lot of crazy and funky and unique features within this plugin. Such a good free auto-tune plugin. Number 2, the PVC Flute by Slap Sound. This is a really unique one because it has a lot of instruments and sounds that I haven't really found in any other VST. I mean, I've reviewed hundreds of free VST plugins on this channel. There's some sounds I've never heard in any of them. I have this kind of collection right here. So a bit of a short collection, but don't let that fool you, because if I play it, right, does kind of have that like PVC sound. Almost reminds me a bit of like the Blue Man Group, like that kind of sound a little bit. And if I go up, really cool stuff you can do with this plugin, and all the different elements that it has. Like the sound, that kind of like texture is just so cool to me. Because I've mentioned this before in other videos, that when it comes to someone playing an instrument, you actually, in a sense, and I stress in a sense, have two main sounds. You have the main sound of the note, so like the bum, but then you also have the sound, which is almost a sometimes quasi-percussive sound of the instrument being played. So on a saxophone, almost not only the note of the sax itself, but the sound of, like, say, the pad hitting the sax, right? Or the keys being hit, right? In this case, I kind of like you have this kind of like, not only note, but this kind of like almost airy, breathy type other element to it to make it more just unique. Right, you can use this in a lot of different ways. I could even use this as like a snare, even maybe, and if I want to get a bit funky, maybe like record or resample one of these notes, do a bunch of stuff to it. right? Then we have like a contra bass flute. Very airy as well. Really cool sound design, I'm not gonna lie when it comes to this. I kind of like the tremolo, very vibratic type nature. We have sustain. Like, I like that clicky sound in the beginning. Right? This jiggery pokery, kind of avoiding. Very like Foley type texture. Ooh. I like that. That'd be kind of cool, I feel like, if I'm doing like a snare clap, which happens a lot in EDM, where on the 2 and the 4, when it goes like that, you have almost like a blended or combined clap and snare. And sometimes you have that go a little bit right before the 2. So it's like this like a subtle thing. That'd be cool to go, or like right into that snare, or like even like a kick. So a lot of cool little sounds here, right? Pizzicato and wind. Right? And then lastly... Oh, that's kind of funky one. So a lot of really unique sounds. Such a really creative and really one of the most unique plugins when it comes to flutes and these kind of unique instruments. Number 3, Psytrance Bass. This one's awesome. A ton, as you can see, 40 different bass sounds. But what's good about this plugin is not really just bass sounds. They're specifically designed for Psytrance. So I play it, but let's be honest, playing it standalone doesn't really have that effect. So let's actually just make a quick Psytrance beat. Let's put this on 140. And I'm just gonna make something like real fast, and we can like loop this. Let's do that on like, I don't know, let's say G, and do this, right? And I'll just get like a random kick. We can try to do this fast. Loop, okay. And then create a little line here, right? And we're gonna add in some kicks. Sure, make this real fast. And then, so what it is in G, I think. Let me actually just combine this all together. Right, we're in G. Find like a sample pack. The excellent Skrilla one. Let's do... Actually, that one. Actually, I kind of like the clickiness of that one. And then, you know what? I'm gonna bring this down then to C. Right. Kind of get the idea, right? I might actually turn this up. Is there a volume thing? I might actually. And then we can adjust. I might actually just throw a saturate. Actually, I might just do a warm saturate on here. Might be a bit better. There we go. Okay. Right. Now, obviously, some of this I might adjust and quantize a little bit because I feel like it's not perfectly on the way I want. But, like, you know, a lot of ways. I think that my favorite one is 7, I think. Right. That one's pretty good. I kind of like that low, like. Right, but super easy to make when it comes to Psytrance. I mean, I could also do, like, the rolling one. So I suppose, like, 1-3. I go like but like I can do a lot of stuff with this plugin. You have some features here in terms of like filtering, envelopes, modulation, some distortion, global stuff. The biggest thing for me, though, being honest, is really just the different bass notes I have. I think 7 is my favorite. Right, but that one works. Oh, this one's kind of your classic, like, infected mushroom style. Right, but a lot to this plugin. These, like I said, I probably wouldn't use that much. But there's 40 different bass notes specifically designed for psytrance, even just normal trance, other genres of electronic music. Such a good plugin. Number 4 is the Wind and Sax by Slap a Sound, featuring a couple of their plugins on this video because they're extremely good. This is one of my favorite saxophone or free saxophone plugins I've used because, wait a second, bam, ton of instruments right here. We have brass, sax, we have wind instruments, we have ensembles, we have different types of brass instruments. So just play it. Now I'm gonna be honest. Some of these presets are a bit more Casio keyboardish. Like this one, I hate to say it, a bit Casio keyboardish to me. Other ones, a bit more what I'd say realistic sounding. But again, it does depend on what you want. Sometimes might be the sound that you want, right? Right, so some of these brass ones, all right, but this one, still kind of Casio keyboardish, right? Almost Hans Zimmer sounding horn. Like, in a world, you know, like type thing. Almost synthy. So the brass ones, all right, now we get to the saxophone. I feel like a lot better sounding. Especially if I throw in some reverb here. We got alto, baritone. Pretty solid baritone sound, I gotta say, because I used to play the bari sax. Pretty solid. Soprano. Tenor. And then we got, let's see, let's turn the reverb down a little bit. More staccato type notes now. Bassoon. Clarinet, flute. So it's kind of cool that you have this huge collection, like a staccato oboe. Very specific. Right? Really cool collection, gotta say. When it comes to trumpets, trombones. And as you can imagine, some of them I think a bit better than others. When we have a bagpipe. Bottle blow. Right, really cool instruments here. Going down to flute. Very expressive vibrato on this one. Harmonica. And a bit meh on that one. Oboe. Ocarina. We're gonna do some Ocarina of Time, but I don't remember what the... Ooh, clipping a little bit here, so I have to... Piccolo. Alright, recorder. We're gonna throw some like hot cross buns on there, then transformer. A lot of unique things you can do with this plugin. Such a great set of sounds. Number 5, we got the Transpanner. And one thing I want to say for these next plugins, these next 3, is that these are actually VST 3 plugins, if I'd be very specific. And what's cool about this one is this is almost like a 3D panning plugin. You can see I can go front to back, left to right. So let me pull up a sample. All right, I'm just gonna mute this. Just find something random. Go back to the Skrilla pack. See if I can find like a random loop. that was cool. No, that will work, right? So we got this. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up. Still have it turned off though. All right. All right, now we're gonna turn it on, and you can see, super easy, based off the GUI. Very, very simple GUI, which I really like. So here, right, friend? All the way to the right. And what's cool about this plugin, I'm going to pull up another one, actually. Let's do, those on imager, so we can actually see, like, how this one does its stuff in real time. Put it on this view. I like this view better. So you can see, like, as I do this, right, it's kind of cool to see. But then, pull up this view. So this is one, if let's say you want to do any kind of like, I'll just loop this actually, make it a bit easier. Here we go. And I can even go inwards. So you can see, based off the Lisa Jouse, or is it Lisa Juice? I think it's Lisa Juice. How easy it is to affect things. So let's say if I want to do some crazy panning stuff, some funky stuff, I can even see this plugin being really good. If let's say you're working on like a video game or soundtrack or something where you want there to be a certain effect, this is great for that. I can also adjust the input, right? I'm doing mono right now, so go to stereo. Right, so now we're in stereo, doing mono before. And it does kind of give you that 3D as I circle around. I will say if you're listening or watching this video on like speakers, or if good speakers, it will have that same effect. But I think if you're wearing headphones, listening or watching to this video, definitely be more pronounced as you do this. It does kind of give that 3D type feeling. Right? Really, really cool plugin. Number 6, the Free Orchestra 2. This is one of the best orchestral VST plugins, or free orchestral VST plugins I've ever used. You have to get Contact Player in order to use it. Also, in case you didn't know, Contact Player is free. It's kind of weird that Native Instruments does this, but Contact Player, free. Contact, not free. I don't know why. I feel like they should just make a different name for the plugin to not make it confusing. But anyway, jumping into this one, you can see I have a bunch of different instruments here, and it's pretty crazy. So you can see the yellow is the main range where I can play it. So I have ascending winds, and I also have some macro settings here. I can do more advanced stuff, but to keep this simple, I can adjust the brass xylo mix, or so even within one preset, I have different ways I can manipulate it to have a whole different feel. Legato only. Right, really cool they can do that. Concert harp. So the Winter Magic, kind of like that name. Right, dystopian bow. If I turn off the screen. And it's cool, there's so many different ways you can manipulate this, like I like how they call it whiskey. And what's good about this plugin, because it's an orchestra plugin, if let's say you're making a score for a movie, a TV show, a video game, whatever, like also down here. Right. I mean, I could go through all these. I mean, there's so many good ones. Like, if I'm doing, again, like a lot of sound effect type stuff. I mean, even if like say I'm making like a horror song, like something that's very kind of spooky or scary, like a horror EDM song. I mean, I'm just going to kind of click around a little bit. Just like the kind of Hans Zimmer type horn, warm ensemble. Set up the choir. Now we have if I turn it all the way down, mean, this plugin, just the quality, the features are just insane. Then we have multi here. And it's cool, you can see here with the different colors, of course. Different instruments. That would be kind of cool. I feel like that reminds me of like a cartoon, like a Tom and Jerry scene, like where he's like walking around the corner and he's like, or like something's about to happen. I don't know, something like that, right? We have like Dreamy. I mean, and you can see right here, it is multi. So even though I'm playing one note, it does the doubles. And the shadow of the mountain, like. I mean, this plugin is just truly unbelievable. Or much of this instrument, or this pack, if I'd call it like that, maybe a better word for it. Sound quality, the features, I mean, one of the best orchestral plugins, especially in terms of just unique things you can do. Absolutely incredible. And number 7, the Jacob Collier Audience Choir. This is one of the best free plugins I've ever used, I'm going to be honest. Sound quality, unreal. One thing I do want to say, by the way, is that you do need Contact Player as well, similar to the free orchestra too. But you can see right here, I can also do a lot of different things here, right? I have these right here in terms of vowels. So if I'm on A right now. O, and then E. I can also do this. I can also loop it, right? So I can, like, say, do... let me, right? Right, so if I, let's say, want to have this be modulated and kind of set some automation in Ableton, I can do that, right, by adjusting, like, the looping functions. I also have chord generator here. So you can see it's automatically playing these notes. If I want to do minor. A lot of cool stuff I can do with this plugin. I mean, the biggest thing is the sound quality. The sound quality, I feel like it's very easy to find a lot of free piano VSTs or reverb VSTs. I find choirs are really tough, I think, to really represent the human voice in the right way. Not have it sound Casio keyboardish. This plugin is perfect for that. And we have 2 other cool features here. We have this, which is kind of like some Foley. So maybe it's kind of funny. Right, if I want to even do, I feel like that'd be kind of a cool way to start off a song, to have it be like this kind of like, if I want to even make like a football type anthem or like a sports anthem, to have that kind of like almost Queen, We Will Rock You type feel. And then we have these up here, which are kind of just cool. Like this type of unique sound effect, vocal stuff. And now, a bonus plugin, and that is the Cowboy Harp by NN Audio. I know a weird one to feature as a bonus plugin, but this one's really cool, and I feel like at first you're like, it's a Cowboy Harp. It's kind of a cheesy instrument, but one, there's a lot of, like I said, piano plugins out there, reverb. Hard to find some unique free VST plugins. Never seen a free Cowboy Harp VST plugin, so I'm going to play it. A bit almost cheesier, like honky tonk, right? But I feel like with this plugin, you can do some unique things, right? So I have a few different features here. Dimension, reverb, delay. Pretty standard when it comes to your effects. But I have 2 different jaw harps that I can adjust. I have jaw harp 1, and I have jaw harp 2. Right? Then I have a few different settings here. So I go here. The big one that I like is I like this one. right? Kind of just the same sound effect with some modulations, but some really cool stuff you can do. I like the basic dual jaw harp, right? Because like, I wonder what it sound like now that this is the last plugin. If I did it like maybe like 100, maybe. If I added like, I think I wouldn't know. I think I'm like. No. Hate when I go to like duplicate something and it's like I'll swipe it off. Come on. Okay. Like if I did something like this. And then you had something like, go back to maybe accent. Actually, accent scroller might have one of them. Like, no, I don't like that high end. I kind of want to be, yeah, actually mid tempo might be a bit better for what I'm like picturing in my head. Like almost, I'm thinking like almost like a res type thing, right? Like, actually, I might just like, let me do it on every actually. Right? Because even though it's like a bit cheesy, I also might put on a different preset now. I'm thinking. No, I think. I don't know. Like imagine something like here, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I always do that when I'm transposing. So it's like if I did something like this, which would be kind of cool. On that, come on, there you go. Come on, expose from down the performance, right? Like that, right? Now, one last thing I have to mention on this video, unfortunately, is I cannot post links to these free VST plugins. I've had some issues with YouTube. I've mentioned it in a lot of other videos because any single time I do these videos reviewing one free VST plugin or multiple free plugins, I always get comments or people saying, hey, Mark, where are the links? Where are the links in the description? Unfortunately, due to issues with YouTube, it's a long story. I've done videos about it. I cannot feature any of these plugins in terms of their links. So unfortunately, you do have to go and Google them. I apologize. It is annoying. It is annoying. There's a lot of things I love about YouTube. There's a lot of things I don't. And this is one of them that I have had issues when featuring links to free VST plugins that YouTube thinks I'm promoting piracy or something like that. Even though these are all free, and might as well even stress, legally free, unfortunately, I cannot post any of the links to these plugins.